Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and I am back for another drawing video. And right now I'm just kind of showing you, because you won't be able to see it much later, but the kind of shiny, pastel-y looking glittery stuff that I used for the watercolor. So anyway, on to the actual tutorial, or really not really a tutorial, but the video. So I started off kind of sizing Lopunny up, and I decided to do shiny Lopunny because, well, she's pink. So I kind of went around and tried my best to fit her on this smaller piece of paper. I'm finding that I really enjoy doing smaller watercolors because the drying time is a lot less, and it's also fun to try and challenge myself to work within a smaller window of space. So I did my very best to get all the proportions correct with Lopunny, and I think I did a pretty good job, except whenever I looked at the reference art, I noticed that the ears were slightly off. I think the one that's on the right, I am missing the inner part of the ear, like the pink part that you would normally see with a cute little bunny. So that's something I'm a little, annoyed that I forgot, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The coloring, not so much. I did like the highlights and things, like the white spaces. I did enjoy how those turned out, but overall, I think when the paper itself started to buckle with the watercolor just being laid on top of it so much, that's when I kind of had trouble, especially towards the end of the piece when I was adding the shaded areas. No matter what I did, I could not get the color to lay down where I wanted it to, and it was just so frustrating. And you'll see that later that I did have a lot of trouble. And I also for whatever reason forgot to do her little paws. So you won't actually see that in this video. I did end up finishing it off camera, but yeah, I forgot to finish her paws. So for most of the video, they're just there. But I think it's because they're within that little muff that she kind of, whenever she puts her hands together, her little wrists make a little muff. So I kind of just dismissed them, and I just kind of forgot about them. Also, when I was doing the shiny, my thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to incorporate this palette, this watercolor palette. It's kind of glittery and shimmery, and I wanted to do that as kind of a special touch for when I do shiny versions of Pokemon. So I wanted to try it out with shiny Lopunny, and you can see now that I did layer it off camera because I forgot. So what I ended up doing was I mixed regular watercolor in my palette dish, and then I put as well as I could, I tried to match up a corresponding shimmer watercolor, and I really liked how it turned out. As you could tell from the very beginning of this video, it's not very visible on camera, but up close, and I took that footage with my phone, it does appear to just have a little more special, I don't know, a special vibe to it. So I really enjoyed drawing Lopunny, and I enjoyed coloring her. It was just kind of frustrating that my paper went a little wonky at the end. So I think that's about all I have to talk to you about this piece, except for maybe one last thing. When I was doing her eyes, I decided that instead of filling them in with black watercolor, I just went ahead and did, some black pen, because I was a big fat cheater and I didn't feel like waiting for it to dry. So that's kind of one aspect that I did, because when I do these, I want to do them fairly quickly. So I think this piece in particular took maybe 2.5 hours or so. I don't really have a whole lot of time to draw sometimes, so I try to do as much as I can in a very small window of time. So I think that about wraps it up for this piece. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this video and have an awesome day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!